Hey everybody, welcome to Bite-Sized Branding, where we cover off a subject in branding in 5 minutes or less. My name is Bernard from Ucidity.
Hi, I'm Grant Tom, and I'm a head fire starter, and I love branding.
Awesome. Today we're going to be covering off the end-to-end on how to plan your brand or your rebrand for your new business. I'm going to kick off the clock now. Let's get it started. So one of the most important things that we cover off with our clients before we get started with anything is an understanding of what their brand vision is. Like, who is the brand? What is the personality of the brand? And what is the market that they want that brand to communicate to? That way we can actually really identify how we can shape it so that it effectively targets or positions the brand how they want to see it, and also relates and resonates with the customers that they want to be talking to.
Well, there's many steps to this process, Bernard. So for example, you've got to work out the vision, you've got to work out the execution, you've got to look at the implementation and how you're going to maintain a brand. So with that, naturally, you've got to also work out how do you select your agency to come on board that's going to be part of all that vision. But at the end of the day, it's the conclusion, it's the execution, it's the memorability of the brand that's the most important. So therefore, we've got to start with the vision quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the only way for an agency to really interpret exactly how you want to position yourself as a brand. Otherwise, you're kind of flying blind. And if the business doesn't really, or the business owner doesn't really understand how they want to be seen in market, then it's almost impossible for somebody else to interpret it. And if an agency can't interpret it, then there's not probably a high chance that anyone else will be able to interpret it.
Correct. Yeah. Very much so. But the vision is always what, it's like naming your first child. It's the most difficult part of a process at the end of the day, what that vision is, because it sits in everyone's heads that are in that particular room. But they're not the ones that's buying from the company. It's the people outside that are going to buy the company. So therefore, you've got to put the vision in their heads in order for it to have attainable value.
Definitely.
So I would turn and say the most important for me is execution. Because execution is not about how much the brand costs. It's about how many times you can implement this brand into the marketplace.
Yeah, I would agree. And then how consistently you can do that. Every reference point, every touch point has to read and feel the exact same way. People have to resonate in the same frequency, That's how you build trust. It's how you build a personality to a brand. You can't have it changing and fluctuating all the time, because then people won't connect with it. They can't connect with it.
Well, there is this analogy that people have to see a brand 21 times before they remember it. They're going to have to touch it 7 times before they buy it. And when they've bought it, will they buy it again? And therefore, that's where all that hard work comes together in the execution part. Tell me about implementation. What's your thoughts on implementation?
Well, implementation, I have what I like to call the 3 C's. Conviction, consistency, and congruency. So conviction is your own personal belief. If you don't personally believe in your brand and value your brand, then it's not going to execute properly.
But it's also the conviction of understanding your customer in the sense of what they want. You have to have conviction that you are the right fit for their need.
True, definitely. And the way that that's then interpreted through the brand. And then that comes into the consistency. How well do you then bleed that through every element of the brand, every touch point? Does it feel like the same element, the same brand? And that's definitely something that brands like Nike do very well. Every time you touch a Nike shoe, it's a Nike shoe. You don't even need to see the swish. You just know they have an energy, an element to it that's always Nike, And then that comes into the congruency. What is the experience you have with the brand? Does it feel the same every time you touch it? Does it give you the same
culture, in other words, right? That's culture.
Yeah. You're creating a culture. Like, again, Nike, great brand to identify a culture. They really have created a trend, and they've owned a space for their own,
But also the way that the customers, the staff represent the brand to the customers is culture.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're right on the button there.
Well, we're going to bring it home now. We've got about 45 seconds. So let's talk about maintaining that brand.
Definitely maintaining that brand. You need to identify in the early stages, especially when you're thinking about brand elements. How is that going to look in a social media space? How is that going to look on your online space? What are you going to do with inbound marketing? How are you going to attract customers to come to your brand? The brand has to translate from traditional to digital and online. How does it work? Is it going to be effective? Make sure that's in the considerations so that you can maintain that brand and that culture that you've created congruently everywhere people see it.
And I think in a final note, maintaining is very much the fact that you keep the visibility of your brand consistent within the marketplace. You don't do a little bit now, then you let it go to sleep and come back again. Those kind of things are just not going to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Consistent. People have an expectation. They build a bit of a rhythm with you. They build a relationship with you. So you have to be on it. You know, you can't just let it go and then hope for the best.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're on 5 minutes there, Bernard.
Awesome. Great, guys. Well, hopefully you got some valuable information out of that. Join us for some more videos. We've got plenty more coming out, and we'll see you on the next one.
Also, guys, don't forget to send us questions of challenges or marketing challenges. We'd like to debate them in 5 minutes.
Definitely. See you at the next one.